Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another third-party unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today we are taking a look at the Good Toys Studio God of Thunder, aka Thor, based off his appearance in Thor Love and Thunder. I know, not everyone loved the movie, but the look that he had at the start of the film, I really liked it, so I was pretty darn curious when Good Toys Studio announced this figure. I got mine from toyswonderland.com. I have popped the link to their site in the description below for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video, this is a review on a figure, an unlicensed unofficial one, that I picked up for my own personal collection. While you are down in the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. As for the box art, I can pretty confidently say that this has to be one of the most boring boxes I have ever seen. We have an image of Thor up front on brown cardboard, Good Toy Studio, and GTS 001. This is, after all, their first figure. On the side of the box, 1/6 scale custom figure. Interesting they're saying custom rather than something else like third party. Not that third party companies ever really advertise that. Nevertheless, Good Toy Studio and the mighty god. Around the back, links to their socials. Feel free to follow them if you so choose. Good Toy Studio, some logos and names, and of course, warnings and legal info. For now, I don't exactly know if this figure is going to make it into the collection as it stands currently. What do I mean by that? We'll get into that a little bit later on. It's not very often that you get a figure and his feet aren't attached, you have to attach them yourself. Plus there's an instruction sheet that says, please heat up the shoes before you pop them on, it's going to make your life so much easier. So yeah, I'm going to do that as well. Also, a word of warning, see this divot on the front of the packaging? That's from his nose. Whoever packed mine, they didn't include a foam sheet over the top, and his head was completely unprotected. Luckily his nose remains undamaged. The figure himself, first-in-hand impressions, this guy is extremely heavy. What we are going to do now, though, is get all of his accessories, won't take us long, laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. This is it. No, really, this is all he comes with. No Stormbreaker, we'll discuss that later on, no effect pieces, no secondary outfit options, no optional head sculpts, and no display base. Just hands. At the very least, the hands do look good. We have open palm hands, closed fists, and some gripping hands, but like I said, nothing for him to grip onto. Now there's some skin texture speckling on the surface, vein work, and some wrinkling plus defined fingernails. And the same goes for all the hands. What we are going to do now, though, is get Thor himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. It's definitely Thor. You can tell right off the bat that's exactly who it's supposed to be. The outfit, it looks spot on to the start of Love and Thunder. But there is also a lot of weirdness here. First of all, what is this body? The proportions, they are way off. Now this figure to me screams body swap. With the face and body like an M34 or M35, this guy could look incredible. But as he stands, he does leave a little bit. Actually, no, scratch that, a lot to be desired. But the head sculpt, at the very least, from a distance, it's actually looking pretty promising. Up close and personal, kicking things off with Thor's head sculpt. Who knew these guys had it in them? Because I certainly didn't. I thought, yeah, okay, maybe the outfit will be the saving grace here. You'll swap the body, swap the head sculpt, and for now, this can be Thor from Love and Thunder in the collection. No way they're going to nail the head sculpt, not on their first figure. But I reckon they did. It's not perfect. I have seen better Thor head sculpts, but I've also seen sculpts that are far worse than this one. The skin texture is good. We have multiple layers of paint applications with the speckling to mimic natural complexion. I like the sculpt of the beard, and that expression is fierce as heck. He's got the furrowed brow and the frown lines, and when you tilt it forward, he looks like he's about to kick some serious butt. He does have the scar on one side sculpted and painted, and his eyes, they're two different colors, just like the movie. His hairstyle, asymmetrical. We have an ear poking out on this side and some dangly strands, and on the other, a big chunk of sculpted plastic hair. But it's not devoid of detail, there is a ton of it. We've got individual strands, especially down below where they're separate from the main sculpt, and around the back, there's a flow to it. It actually joins the middle for the ponytail, and there's a braid sculpted in as well. But that's kind of where the good points end, because sculpted hair means that the head sculpt sits a little bit higher on the body. It does sit over the shoulder naturally though, so I guess that's another tick. But his head sculpt is a different color from the body, and I have no idea why. Because if you're putting this figure together in the factory, or however the heck else they made this, you're painting up the head sculpts, surely you make the head sculpts match the body or vice versa, but they quite clearly didn't. The skin tone on the head sculpt is a little bit lighter than the body. Is that a huge deal though? That's totally up to you. For me, it is a huge deal. So I'm going to try and switch the body, and when I eventually do that, I will do a YouTube Shorts video to show you the end result. Now he is wearing this very deep, rich burgundy red vest, and I'm pretty sure it's real leather. It smells like real leather, and it is so smooth and supple. There's this grain on the surface, multiple panels stitched together, and some quilted stitching up top as well. Then in the middle, this is so metal, some silver press studs in the shape of a pretty wide T for Thor. Back around the front, the rest of his red vest. The lapels are black, and so too is the lining on the inside. Now it is split open to reveal the print of Yggdrasil, the Tree of Life, with the various realms on his white tank top, but technically it doesn't have to be. If somehow, some way you manage to get these two panels to meet, the zipper is real, so you could totally do it up and hide this vest entirely. Which you might want to do because it is very big and baggy. Now it's supposed to tuck in, but his pants ride low, the belt isn't tight enough, and the pants aren't tight enough either, so the tank top, it literally just comes out and does its own thing. Plus, up top with the vest, what the hell is this? There is a huge air gap at the shoulders. I mean, you can see his actual shoulders, they're all the way down here, so it throws off the proportions. I have no idea what's going on. If only they'd had this sit down and be a little bit tighter to the body, I reckon that would have looked way better. Then again, the body itself is truly awful. I have nothing good to say about the body. His neck is far too long, skin tone we've already discussed doesn't match, there isn't any skin texture on the surface, at least not done in paint, and the muscle definition is very smooth. Where Chris Hemsworth in Love and Thunder, he was absolutely ripped, so this body, I just don't think does him justice. Then the hands, compared to the length and size of the arms, they are absolutely tiny. Coming down to the pants, I'm not gonna lie, I really like them. They look like denim trousers. We've got some stitched in knee pads with upside down T's, once again for Thor, and there's a little bit of give to them for posability. Up top we have a belt buckle, I think that's another T, could be wrong. And the construction of this is pretty clever. There's a proper metal belt buckle behind, and this is kind of just a facade that sits over the top. But it's not really all that functional. You can see it's very loosey-goosey. Then down below he does have a split-cut boot design, but you'll already know that. You all saw earlier on in the unboxing segment, out of the box, you do have to attach these shoes. The wraps, nicely sculpted with texture, and there are some washers over the top to go into that texture and bring out all the detail. And the same thing can be said for the boots. There's a leather grain on the surface, and underneath, some fully sculpted tread, with dry brushing over the top, so they look suitably filthy. For a quick side-by-side comparison, on the left, Good Toys Studio Thor, and on the right, Hot Toys Infinity War Thor. See that figure on the right, Good Toys Studio? That's how you do proportions. He actually looks like a real dude shrunk down to 1/6 scale, and I'm not even talking about the seamless joints, although they do also add to the realism. But the proportions on the Good Toy Studio one, it is way off. The hands are too small, the shoulders look funky, his legs, I don't even know what's going on there. So maybe with the body swap he can look good, but out of the box, standing alongside your other Thor figures, also in 1/6 scale, he's gonna look out of place. Seeing as though Thor was kind of a de facto member of the Guardians in Love and Thunder, here is Star-Lord, specifically the Infinity War version. Thor towers over him. I know, Chris Hemsworth, once again, tall dude, but not this tall. This body is just far too big. He looks way out of scale. He looks like a dad next to his shorter son. Going over articulation, some of it's already on display, but let's go through it anyway. Starting off with the head sculpt, a fixed neck, and a double ball peg up on top, but he's got sculpted hair front and back, so looking forward and back is relatively limited. Swivel and pivot side to side. The arms will go up to there. They will go forward and back. Butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. Swivel at the elbow that also houses a single bend, and a hinge and swivel for the wrist peg. The torso, pretty much nothing. You do, however, get some movement from the waist. Forward and back, swivel and pivot side to side. The legs will go forward to there, going out to there, squeaky joints, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee going just past 90, then a hinge and swivel with a ball peg at the bottom for both feet. Good for forward and back, swivel, and if you move the joint, pivot side to side. Wrapping up on Good Toy Studio Thor, based off his appearance at the start of Thor Love and Thunder, the opening scene, which ruffled a lot of feathers. I mean, it set the tone for the movie, and the tone? It was very goofy. In that scene, he rode Stormbreaker like a broomstick, he destroyed the palace he was supposed to protect, and he held apart two chicken creature speeders with his legs, doing the Jean-Claude Van Damme splits, and screamed at the chickens at the same time. So if you don't want to commemorate this look for Thor in the collection, immortalize it in 1/6 scale, I understand. I did though. I really like this outfit, and Good Toy Studio, they did a great job recreating the outfit and the head sculpt. But that's it. Those are the only good things I can say about this guy. I despise the body. Both the way it looks, with the funky proportions and the mismatched skin tone compared to the head sculpt, and of course, the articulation as well. He doesn't come with a display base, he doesn't come with any effect pieces, and he doesn't come with Stormbreaker. How can he not have a Stormbreaker? It's even pictured on the front of the box. I just have no idea what went through Good Toy Studios' heads, but they released this guy and he is very bare bones. Maybe you have a Stormbreaker, maybe you have effect pieces, maybe you even have a display base and a switch out body, but this guy needs a lot of work to live up to his true potential, and most collectors, they're not going to be interested. Luckily I am. Stay tuned to the channel because I can't wait to see what this guy looks like with a couple of upgrades. Now, I got mine from toyswonderland.com. I have popped the link in the description below for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video. This is a review on a figure that I picked up for my own personal collection. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.